and I was going to leave the group. But then I had a conversation with my wife. My wife said, "Well, are you participating?" I said, "No." She was like, "Well, you're paying all this money. Why don't you participate in the group?" So as soon as I start participating, that's when things started changing for me. Instead of me being afraid to speak, I was speaking on the calls. That's number one. So then when Dave was talking about on the call, one call that I was about to hang up this call, he said, "Yo, everybody needs to start a podcast." And I'm at that point, I did not have a podcast. I'm like, well, that's stupid. I'm not doing that. I don't really want to talk in front of people. I'm not really all that comfortable yet. So I was ready to hang the phone up or hang the call up. But he said something that really stuck with me. He said, "What better way to get your message out to the world than to have a podcast?" Hey, family. This is Che Willis coming back with another episode of Wealth is a Journey podcast. Guys, this is episode 144, 144 weeks of consistency, 144 weeks of getting it done. We outside. Guys, man, can you believe 144 weeks is insane to be doing something consistently over and over again? And I'm again always super grateful. And then just to think back to where we started from, I'm looking down. I had my iPhone. I'm looking down at the camera. I'm doing all the things that you probably shouldn't do if you're filming a podcast, but we here now, man, and we're getting better, and we are providing good information to hopefully get you to wherever you want to be financially. And so I just want to say thank you to the listeners, to the watchers, subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. If you're a first time listener, watcher, subscriber, thank you so much for joining us. On this podcast, we talk about faith, family, and finances, among other things. If you are a return listener, watcher, subscriber, thank you so much for joining us again. Hopefully, we are adding value to your lives on the way to the M's, because we are 1000% on the way to the M's. You may say, "Che Willis, what exactly are the M's?" The M's are millions, millions in assets, so we can live the life that we want to live. But how are we going to do that is the question. We are going to reduce our expenses. And with the money that's left over from reducing our expenses, we're going to march that money out into the marketplace and make us some money babies. That's exactly how we're going to do it. So continue to get on this journey with me and be on this journey with me, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. So, speaking of getting to the M's, this episode has to do with money, and it kind of doesn't. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So, in my entrepreneurship group that I'm in, the morning meetup, we are reading The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. This book is a must. It's a must read. The reason I say that is because the book talks about many different things from an entrepreneurial standpoint, but the major theme of the book is talking about thinking. At the end of every chapter, he says, "Go think, you'll thank me later." And I think that thinking is a lost art. The reason I say that is because we are in a microwave society, and we are constantly just trying to do whatever the thing is we believe that's going to get us the financial result that we're trying to get. And I believe, now that I'm thinking about it, that thinking forces you to be patient, because you have to settle down and stop moving in order to think. But thinking, in my opinion, and I have facts to back it up, that thinking can get you faster results, because thinking actually settles you down. It stops all of the busyness and forces you to just stop and actually focus on whatever your goals are. And in my life, I have a lot of different goals. But when I stop and think about my goals, then ideas and different things start coming to me to help me accomplish my goals. What I'm saying is we need to stop and we need to turn the radio off and we need to incorporate think time, whether that's when you first wake up in the morning, whether that's if you're getting into your car, turn the radio off and just ride in silence for a few minutes and then think about your goals and think about where you want to be. And I guarantee you that things will start coming to your mind about how to accomplish your goal. I remember a time, and I think I talked about it on this podcast once before, where I'm driving down the street, and I believe that God spoke to me. And before you think hey, this guy's crazy, before you think that I'm crazy, if anybody ever said that God spoke to them, what I want you to think about is there any fruit as a result of what they believe God said to them? And if you see that there's fruit as a result of them saying God spoke to them, then that's when you can say, okay, well, maybe God did speak to him, or maybe he didn't. But you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So many, many years ago, I'm driving down the street and God spoke to me and he said that I heard it on the inside, not an audible voice, but I heard, hey, I want you to help people. And I'm like, okay, well, what exactly does that look like? But I know that that's what I heard because as soon as I heard it, like I start crying, like it was insane. And ever since then, I've been on a mission to help people. Now, what does that look like? I don't know. But every chance that I got, I was looking to help somebody in whatever capacity that I had the ability to be able to help them. And so ever since then, I've been on a mission to do exactly that. Now, God knew my heart and he knew that I was willing at the very least to follow through on what I knew that I heard. And I believe that's how I was able to get good with finances because I believe if you take God's things seriously, then I believe that that's when you will get blessed with the things that you want materially. So I was willing to get good with finances and not just keep the information to myself, but I was also able to help other people with finances. And having the ability and um having the ability to be able to do that and then be able to talk to a multitude of people when I did not feel like it because I was an introvert. I didn't like talking to an audience of people or being able to just talk to a group of 5 people that I don't know. It was uncomfortable for me, so I chose not to do that. But I believe that God saw the willingness in my heart to be able to do that, to be able to help people. So then he started connecting me to different people, and Imma tell you exactly what I'm talking about. During the pandemic, I believe that that was like the financial revolution. Like, we had Wall Street Trapper, you had, Earn Your Leisure guys, and all this different financial information that was coming out on the internet, YouTube. So I'm watching all this and I'm listening to different podcasts about finances, about entrepreneurship. And before I move and before I do anything, I always pray about it. So I'm having a conversation with God on what I should do, which is that could be considered think time as well, but I'm consulting with God on what I should do. So my thing was, okay, should I move forward with Wall Street Trapper? No, I didn't hear anything. Should I move forward with Earn Your Leisure? No, I didn't hear anything. But when I was listening to my mentor now, David Shands, I'm a part of his morning meetup group. I heard to move forward with that. Now I didn't know exactly what that meant, but I just knew that I needed to move forward with that. Now, when I did join the group, I used to sit back in the background, not participate, just listen to everybody else, win in and things like that from an entrepreneurial standpoint. What's going on, family? My name is Che Willis, the medicine to your financial headache, and I help families living paycheck to paycheck live the life that they want to live through financial planning and wealth management. Did you know that the number one cause for divorce is money fights and money problems? If you are struggling financially with your spouse, you have come to the right place. We have an online course, we have a community, and we have one-on-one coaching that can help you live your best financial life and cut down on a lot of the money fights that you and your spouse are currently having. So if you are struggling, please make sure that you go to wealthisajourney.com to fix the issues that you guys are having currently surrounding money. A lot of us were never taught, and that's okay. But if you know that you need help, do not stay stuck. It's time to start living your best financial life with your spouse starting today. So go to wealthisajourney.com so we can start living your best financial life starting today. Let's go. And I was going to leave the group. But then I had a conversation with my wife. My wife said, "Well, are you participating?" I said, "No." She was like, "Well, you're paying all this money. Why don't you participate in the group?" So as soon as I start participating, that's when things started changing for me. Instead of me being afraid to speak, I was speaking on the calls. That's number one. So then when Dave was talking about on the call, one call that I was about to hang up this call, he said, "Yo, everybody needs to start a podcast." And I'm at that point, I did not have a podcast. I'm like, well, that's stupid. I'm not doing that. I don't really want to talk in front of people. I'm not really all that comfortable yet. So I was ready to hang the phone up or hang the call up. But he said something that really stuck with me. He said, "What better way to get your message out to the world than to have a podcast?" So I was like, "Oh my God, man, that was like a light bulb moment for me." So as soon as I heard that 3 weeks later, I now have a podcast. Did I know what I was doing? Absolutely not. But through my think time, it drew me to one, be able to help people. Two, I got good with my finances. Three, I started helping people with the finances. Four, God connected me to Dave. Five, I start the podcast. What does the podcast do? The podcast helps me to be more comfortable talking in front of a camera, which then got me in front of different audiences, being able to speak to uh, uh, different groups, which before I was afraid to do. But me doing this podcast makes me more comfortable having a thought, being able to articulate that thought and get my message across that I'm now being able to do the first thing that I heard, which was to help people. So that is the fruit. You are watching this podcast and hopefully you're getting something from it. And I'm being able to help people. I started a community. The community is to help people with their finances, to um, have a group of people moving in one direction regarding their finances and just trying to get better and doing better and holding people accountable to where they say that they want to be. I have a business called Wealth is a Journey. That business is helping people with their finances. And I'm doing two things. I'm doing the first thing that I heard God told me to do, and I'm being compensated now for helping people to get where they want to be financially. And I'm able to do it on a large scale as well because now I'm being able to talk to different audiences about financial literacy. So, why am I saying all this? I'm saying this because the think time piece is bigger than what you think. We want to just go and go and go, but I don't know if you've ever heard of slowing down to speed up. So if we instead of just constantly just doing, if we just slow down and think about what our next move is, and if in your thinking time that is prayer time as well, so you can hear from God and talk to him and see what your next move is, then do that. Because I'm telling you, it is time well spent. Because if I had have just went on my first impulse, which was to go with the Earn Your Leisure guys, I may have never been able to sit in front of you and have this podcast because that wasn't necessarily what they were promoting. Or Wall Street Trapper, same thing. I still listen to those guys and they have great information. But just think if I had just went off my first impulse, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you probably. And so um ever since then, and I've seen fruit as a result of me listening and thinking and slowing down. I always do it now. And any business move that I make or any trips that I go on or things of that nature, I'm always thinking first because I don't want to make the wrong move, because some people make the wrong moves and they never recover from them. So consulting, thinking, praying, all those different things are ways that we can generate wealth. Because what if I didn't think, and what if I didn't pray about building a real estate empire? The idea came to me, hey, well, if you're putting money in the bank from the profits from the real estate and you're paying attention to what's going on in the market, in the stock market, why not put the money in the stock market to make money faster and then buy more real estate? And then it's a constant cycle as opposed to just putting the money in the bank, getting almost next to nothing for a return, and it takes me years to buy more property. So those are the different ideas that come to my head because I'm slowing down and I'm thinking. But my question to you is, when have you made a snap decision or a rushed decision and didn't think about it and then you ended up suffering loss as a result of it? So I'm just asking you to incorporate think time into your routine. Again, maybe when you wake up in the morning, you lay in the bed for maybe 5 minutes and then get some time to just think before your feet hit the floor, or when you're going out into to your car. If your first thing is to turn the radio on, maybe don't turn the radio on and then think about your day, how your day is going to go before your day actually even starts. What if the idea to get you out of your financial situation came as a result of you stopping and thinking or praying? I'm telling you, man, it's it this the think time has been a game changer, and just based on the results and the fruit of me thinking, praying, consulting with God about my next moves and what I should or shouldn't be doing has been a game changer. Even thinking back to how can I make my sons and my family's lives their lives different? And I believe that that's what God put on my heart to, be good at finances so then I can pass that information down to my son, because I know how it is to have to figure it out. And oh, by the way, since I have extra money, now that I'm debt free, my wife and I are debt free, now we can invest for him. So now he can have a good head start, not having a college debt, and then also having money waiting for him once he graduates from college. And all of that came from thinking. Paying the house off, being debt free came from thinking. So if we continue to incorporate these things while we're actually doing the work, stopping, thinking, okay, maybe that wasn't a good move. Doing the thing, stopping, thinking, okay, that was a good move. Let's do more of that. Stopping, thinking. We have to incorporate this in our daily routine if we want to build wealth. Because going is cool, but if we can do 50% going and incorporate thinking so then we can go faster, that's going to be more advantageous for where we want to be financially, where we want to be in our families and friends, and just being better overall. I'm telling you, man, it's a game changer. And again, I'm not off of money because this definitely has stuff to do with money as well. It has stuff to do with uh, setting your family up for success, setting yourself up for success. And I believe if we incorporate these ideas, these routines, these practices that I'm talking about, I'm telling you, your life will change as a result of it. So again, when people say that they heard from God, it's okay to challenge it. But the best way to challenge if somebody really heard from God or not is the fruit. Is what is the result of what they say they heard from God? And if it's a good result, then it may make it a little bit more believable that maybe God did tell them that. So I wanted to talk about that because I think it's super important to incorporate those things. And I believe the faster we incorporate those routines and those habits, then I believe the better off our lives will be, especially if we're doers of what we hear that we need to do. So that's the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wealth is a journey. We will see you next week. Peace.